Paul Skenes, a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, pitching for one of the worst teams in the modern era. Why is last year's National League Rookie of the Year still with the Pirates? Why does he make this face when he wins the award? Why haven't any big teams made an offer for him yet? So let's talk about it. Paul Skenes has quickly become one of the best starting pitchers in Major League Baseball since his debut in May of last year. The day before Easter this year, the Pirates gave away this goofy half-cut bobblehead of him pitching, and this gridlocked Pittsburgh. But this attention nationally, and the attention he brings to this losing franchise, it raises a huge question that I'm seeing more and more on the tweet machine. Why hasn't Paul Skenes been traded yet? There are a few factors. Some have to deal with legal contracts and pre-arbitration, but there are some other factors within the league and the history of pitchers and health that come into play. So let's start with the obvious: contracts and money. After finishing school at LSU, Paul Skenes entered the MLB draft. He was signed by the Pirates for the pre-arbitration contract of $875,000, with an included signing bonus of $9.2 million. If you're keeping track, that's over $10 million right out of the gate for your rookie season. To give you context for drafted players and their signing bonuses, you would usually receive a signing bonus of $1 million if you had potential right out of the gate. Looking at these numbers compared to Paul Skenes, who is delivering since his MLB debut, why is he only getting paid $875,000 when you take away the signing bonus? Here comes the business side of baseball. I don't want to bore you with all the arbitration details and all of the stuff that goes into it, so I'll try to explain this as easy as I can. Arbitration is a legal way for a third party to come in and decide how much money a player's contract should be adjusted for how much they make per season. It's a private way to do hearings for players and make those adjustments and keep them outside of court. This exists so MLB can stay out of the courts as much as possible. Did you see the last video talking about if MLB's a monopoly? Holy hell. Naturally, in MLB, there are a few catches when you want to go and make an arbitration deal. The biggest catch of all is you need to have 3 years of MLB league experience before making a case for contract adjustments. And yes, if you're injured and put on the big league injured list, that still counts. If you ever heard of pre-arbitration years for players, this is what they're referring to. These are most common in drafted players and minor league prospects. Pre-arbitration gauges how much money a young player can make when they quickly enter the league without paying them millions of dollars. Which is why the signing bonus portion is crucial, especially when you draft a player that's going to be in the majors the next season. So in Paul Skenes' case, the $9.2 million is a way to try and compensate for the first 3 years of pre-arbitration. Now, if a team is interested in you in your pre-arbitration years, those numbers follow you to whatever team you go to. So you have to do 3 years of big league service at $875,000 before trying to get a bigger yearly contract. And just a side note, after completing 6 years of MLB service time, that is when you become eligible for free agency with no strings attached. Hopefully all of this makes sense. I don't know if I can simplify it any more than that. Let's talk about other teams that would be interested in Paul Skenes, because we have a few factors and things to keep in mind. First, the pre-arbitration years 1 to 3 on the Pirates. This is where Skenes is at now in year 2. Teams are not likely to trade for him during this time. His required 3 years of pre-arbitration would follow him if he went to the Dodgers or the Yankees, and they will not know how much money he's going to ask for once he hit his 4th year and he can negotiate an arbitration. So that's a little too risky when they play the long game. Next is the arbitration years on the Pirates, years 4 to 6. With all the buzz and all the numbers Skenes is producing, this builds a strong case for a high yearly salary after pre-arbitration. But Zach Wheeler on the Phillies dealing at $42 million a year? Who wants to emerge and pay Paul Skenes these kinds of numbers? There are a few teams I can think of that have money to throw around in the future. Naturally, Paul Skenes wouldn't get paid that much right away. But under the Pirates in years 4 to 6, it's going to start snowballing, and that number's going to get higher and higher. What about trading for Skenes in years 4 to 6? Is that considered risky? Yes. Smart teams with the right front office and scouts are not going to want to jump on this deal in years 4 to 6. They are keeping detailed notes on Skenes, but they'd rather play the waiting game. As Skenes continues pitching for the Pirates, other teams will see how much money he's asking for as he builds up in arbitration. They will see how he improves over time, and wait until he becomes a free agent right before the end of year number 6. And then they will make their best offers to ISE. They have represented Justin Verlander, Big Papi, Mariano Rivera, who just so happens that the Sandman was a lifetime Yankee and he's now in the Hall of Fame. On the ISE website, it so conveniently has a section on contract negotiations in arbitration. And look at this team on their website. That's a lot of headshots to negotiate with MLB and the Pirates in his arbitration years. Some teams may try to buy out the end of his contract in year 6, but that's if he's pitching at the same caliber as he is right now on a losing team. The one thing that could throw Skenes' career for a loop could be injury. And for a starting pitcher, Tommy John surgery sucks. Most popular pitcher underwent Tommy John surgery twice. The first was in 2018 after Ohtani's first year with the Angels. Yes, even unicorns can dislocate the horn. Now you're just a sparkly little horse who can hit. The second Tommy John was in September of 2023, and that was in his final month of his contract with the Angels. So Ohtani got his second surgery as he was about to become a free agent, and we all know who swooped in and picked him up. They knew over time he would pitch again, even though the team doesn't need him to and he could just hit the rest of his career, but they knew he could pitch again. Now look at Jared Jones, teammate of Paul Skenes and chest hair advocate. Like, what is happening here? Why don't you go and pitch out shirtless, you little cutie? Here comes Simba. Go get it, you f***ing animal. What were we talking about? Last month he underwent Tommy John surgery for the first time at the age of 23. And there are many pitchers that follow in this trend of getting your first Tommy John under the age of 26. In Jared Jones' case, he's projected to miss the rest of this year and possibly all of next year. And the reason the Pirates keep him on the 15-day IL and then move him to the 60-day IL is so the days count down until his 1 year of Major League service in this extension is up. Now he could go anywhere with pre-arbitration. It's going to transfer to whatever team he goes to, getting paid under $1 million. And even if he's injured next season, he could just be put on the Major League IL list, and then that year could rotate itself through. Well, during that last year of pre-arbitration, they can start beginning to negotiate a bigger contract. But that's all dependent on if his arm stays healthy and he looks promising to a potential team. If we compare these two to where Paul Skenes is at, and you see the social media videos of him working out harder than anybody else, those hardcore workouts before pitching either delays when he's going to get Tommy John, or he may never get Tommy John at all, just like Nolan Ryan. If he gets injured in years 4 to 6, a lot of teams are going to be hands off for a while. Granted, he'll be 25 after pre-arbitration, but Tommy John surgery could definitely impact his trajectory. Paul Skenes will be a Pirate at least up until the end of the 2026 season. 2027 to 2029 could be the time for a team to strike, but that depends on how much money Paul Skenes is going to be making during those arbitration years. No smart team is going to make a move until his final season on his contract. They will wait until after year 6 of the contract when he's technically a free agent to make a move. Some teams may get greedy and jump the gun and offer him large sums before the 2029 season even starts. But hey, only time will tell. Paul, keep your arm healthy, continue the pitch, and just wait it out. 2029 is your ticket out. During this time, have your team at ISC and all the headshots and get ready to juice the Pirates in arbitration. Stay close with Simba, and I hear pitching in New York for the Yankees or the Mets is a pretty good gig this time of year. Want to learn more about the underground baseball league MLB's trying to take over? You can watch it right here.